Next topic of discussion: the Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously, they finished with a pretty poor record this year.
Yeah.
23 wins after obviously it was a shorter season, 72 game season. Um, yeah, shorter season, and they had D'Lo and Cat together. They have Anthony Edwards, who was rookie of the year kind of candidate. People thought he was ahead of Melo. Melo obviously didn't play as many games, but anyways, they're in a bit of limbo right now. 23 games with a young core who is getting paid a lot of money. What do you guys think that they should do, and what do you think that will happen to them this year?
Honestly, have they ever been good? Like, have they? Like, nah, seriously, mate. They had at one stage they had who? Wiggins, Cat, and Butler, and they couldn't make
Yeah.
it work then. So I mean, what can they do now to do anything? Like, they're pretty much useless, mate. I mean, unless they put a lot of, time into surrounding Edwards with some good pieces. Um, yeah.
I mean, look, for me, looking at the Timberwolves team, they had 23 wins last season, and you'd go to the draft. However, the Timberwolves had no draft picks in this year's draft, which, in terms of our front office failing, that's right up there with, some of the worst moves that, a front office can make. They're a struggling team, and they've got no draft picks. You've got Kat and D'Lo, they're both 25. You'd say they're entering their prime. So hopefully, they can finally get that chemistry going a bit better. They're very offensive heavy. I think the Timberwolves were up there in terms of scoring output, but defensively, they are just horrible.
Yeah.
So for me, when I looked at the team, they needed a power forward, and that's what they went out and got today. They got a Taurean Prince in a trade for Ricky Rubio. And Ricky Rubio balled out today in the Olympics. Ricky Rubio dropped 38 against USA.
Taurean Prince's combined points in his history is 38, mate.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they don't need offense. They need a defensive big man to help out Cat.
He's not that big though, is he?
He's
slotted into the small forward. I always thought he was a 3.
Honestly, bro, he looks like Jay Crowder, mate. Like
a bit of a 3-4 type operator.
Yeah. Taurean Prince. Interesting. I going back to the whole Ben Simmons topic. I always thought Ben Simmons should have signed with the Timberwolves, They have like Kat and Ben, they're obviously friends. We've all seen the clip where they're playing COD together, and they have a game. Kat has a game the next day against the Hawks, and Ben says he has plenty of time to keep playing. And so they have a relationship there. So why not bring him in? Bring one of the boys in. Trade away Anthony Edwards. I think that's a win-win scenario. Ben Simmons brings that all NBA defensive player of the year level defense. But Ben Simmons is a bit of a rock star kind of guy. He probably won't want to live in Minnesota. Anyways, what's one move you think they should make, AP, mate?
Probably just get rid of bloody D'Lo, man. He's like a really really streaky scorer. He's never really consistent. Like, I know he's good, but can he consistently give you that 20 odd a game that you need? And he was considered like superstar level when he was at the Nets, right? He was doing magical things there. He was close, like borderline.
Playoffs.
Yeah, borderline. There was that game where he got him back from like a 28-point deficit in the fourth or something to win. And I mean, that's pretty damn good, but we didn't see any of that sort of stuff this year, so I'm thinking he's guard, mate. And I'm thinking they need to get rid of him, and they need to add some defense, like you said.
For sure. How about you, Lamb? What's one move they should make?
Look, it's a really tough one. In terms of free agents remaining, there's Dennis Schroeder, who's still, potentially available, who could be an interesting addition to that backcourt to help D'Lo out. I think we're talking about defense, man.
Defense. Mate, what do you do? What do you do for the Lakers, man?
So, I mean,
defensively,
you got to look at his OKC work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Timberwolves fan.
But no, I think the Timberwolves.
You lost, mate. You just can't do anything, mate, if you're a Timberwolves fan.
Yeah, sorry. You're kind of stuck here. Your team's a bit of a dumpster fire, but I'm telling you, all you need to do is trade for Ben Simmons. Get Anthony Edwards out of there. He's a good kid, but you don't need more scorers. You got D'Lo and you got Cat. Get Ben Simmons in there, the facilitator, the defender. He'll ruin your culture, but no, I'm just kidding. But yeah. Win-loss prediction for this year?
They're going back to back, man.
I'm gonna drop at 23 again, if that. I think the Timberwolves are probably in for another year of pain. I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm thinking that as well. Like they haven't done anything. So like, how can they like improve their record? If every other team's like becoming better, they can't. Back to back.
Well, I think just. In terms of one thing, like Cat is their best player. However, I think it was two or 3 years ago where he's voted by the league GMs. It's like the player that people would build their team around. So maybe he needs to do more. Or I know he had a really tough year last year. Mentally, he had a lot of stuff off the court. So maybe maybe having that this kind of off season might do wonders for the Timberwolves potentially. But there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a Hail Mary out here, and I'm gonna say the Timberwolves, they slot into the 10th seed with 37 wins.
Wow.
Right.
The reason I say this is, like you said, Cat had a lot of off the court issues. Anthony Edwards will be getting better in his second year.
Yep.
D'Lo, hopefully, a year in this system, they'll get used to it. More chemistry. Chemistry is a big thing. We've seen teams just pop out of nowhere just because of chemistry. Like the Jazz, regular season, they have great chemistry. I mean, they're garb in the playoffs, but like,
yeah.
And the teams that I'm looking that are below the Timberwolves, you have teams like the Rockets. Where are the Rockets going? They're garb. The Thunder, I mean, they could be really good. We'll have to see what Kemba does. Kings, garb. Spurs, garb. So Timberwolves easily could be 10th seed. So yeah, any final thoughts on the Timberwolves?
I think we'll wrap it up there, man. That's all the time they deserve, anyway.
Let's move it on. All right, comment down below what you think the Timberwolves should do this offseason.